What is up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome back to Kardashians Weekly here on the AfterBuzz TV reality channel. We are so excited to be breaking down Season 15, Episode 11 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. We are talking all about Khloe's baby shower and Kylie's insecurities. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I don't really need a D, I need the
Cardi B! This is what happens when you open it up to the panel to pick the song for the opening.
Great choice, great choice.
I know. I know what's happening. I know what song would be a good time to come in.
That's right.
Good
Money.
See, I haven't heard this song, but I'm going to be listening to it on the way home because it sounds like it's popping. Guys, thank you so much for coming back to view us here on the AfterBuzz TV reality channel, Kardashians Weekly, breaking down The Lord and His Lady, Season 15, Episode 11. We've got a lot to talk about, of course. After recapping the episode, we are going to be spilling some tea during tea time, and then, of course, Graham Glam, where we pick your favorite and our favorite Instagram photo of the week. Lots to talk about. Let's just dive right on in. But first, let's introduce our panel.
Yes, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Keeping Up with the Kardashians. My name is Rachel Robillard.
Hey kids, I'm Nakia Monet. Happy to be back.
Hey everybody, it's Howard the Third. Can't wait to talk about the episode.
Oh, I know, and it's going to be so great. And of course, I am Dakota T. Jones. Let's jump right on in. First, I kind of want to talk about this heavy topic of the March for Our Lives, which was it just seems so interesting. We talk about this every week, but it just was so long ago, and the fact that like now we're getting all this information and like seeing what happened behind the scenes and Kim meeting with some of the kids. Kind of interesting because we really didn't get to see that. We just saw she was in attendance. Yeah. But she decides that she first kind of starts off talking to Larsa about how Kanye wants 7 kids, which is a lot.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
I feel like
Can you
Kanye,
imagine 7 West?
no,
7 college educations.
which wouldn't be a problem for them to pay for.
That's true.
But I feel like Kanye needs to take care of himself as a kid before he takes care of any other children.
I agree.
So
That was some shade.
some shade.
But a fact.
But I'm still wearing those Yeezys, so I can't really say a lot. But so it's kind of interesting because Kim is kind of scared to bring any more children into the world just because of how scary it is, you know, for safety reasons. And everyone's always trying to come after them, and everyone wants a piece of the Kardashians. You know, Kim had a robbery. It just seems like it's not a safe space for them, especially just how much of status they have. They have to have a lot of security. But they decided to take North to the March for Our Lives, which I thought was very awesome. And then the fact that North will have that memory hopefully forever and see that at a young age she was being taught not just about like, oh, princesses and mermaids, like she was actually being taught something.
Real life issues.
Right. Did you think that that was smart of her to do?
Yeah, I mean, she's only 4 years old right now. She's obviously one of the youngest amongst the March for Your Lives in the crowd. And I thought it was great that Kim brought her. And as you said, it was great that Kim was talking to some of the people affiliated with the organization and how like these young kids are trying to make a difference. And I just hoping that we're the generation that does just that. And it's just crazy how this episode was today, because just yesterday a gunman opened fire in a Pittsburgh synagogue with an assault rifle, an AR-15. So it really hits close to home that this episode was today. But I think it's good because awareness needs to be happen, and the November 6th election is right around the corner, y'all. So if you're not registered, please register to vote. And I love how celebrities are talking voting and politics, and just we talked about this too, like how Taylor Swift is now recently talking about politics, and what the kids said, March for Your Lives, that they hope celebrities and just pop culture make voting a cool thing to do, which I think is great.
I thought it was, I love when parents get their kids involved, because it's really cool to have young kids there and to let them see like other kids who are young just like so that way they have questions about voting. And I love seeing kids like Yara Shahidi, who's out there trying to make a change and do the vote. So I love that she brought North out there. The only thing that I get worried, and it has nothing to do with the Kardashians, is I just remember a time where I feel like us as a country, we only get worried when it's really bad. Because I remember a time when I was in college and it was vote or die, and everyone was trying to make a change, which I believe we should continue the fight. I just want it to continue. I think sometimes when we get too comfortable as a nation, we're like, all right, coast is clear.
Oh, shoot.
Oh! So like I was saying, I'm really happy that this is happening. I'm happy that she brought the baby there, and I love that people are getting their kids involved. I just want the world to just not get too comfortable, and let's continue the fight. Like, I love seeing the march. I love seeing young people, older people, everyone coming together, and I love that we all have a voice because that's what this country is for. So I'm happy that she brought North out there, and maybe we'll see North in a few years on Keeping Up the Kardashians 25, and she's running for office. So I think that was really good.
Howard, were you kind of like a little bit surprised at how honest Kim was about how she didn't really know about what's up for voting for and all that?
I wasn't surprised because low-key, like, I'm in the same boat as Kim. I was very happy that she said, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, what voting is or, all of that. And I was kind of like, oh, Kim, I'm in the same boat. Like, I know what to vote for, but I don't know politics like that.
Yeah.
I'm in entertainment. I do pop culture. I speak about the Kardashians. So Kim was probably like, I do makeup. I, do tutorials on YouTube. I don't really know what to do about voting. So I love that she, just told her truth.
You respected her honesty.
Yeah, I really did. I thought it was a great way, and that can open up other doors for other people who look up to her, like kids. Like, okay, what is this voting thing? You know?
Yeah, a lot of people look up to Kim and to other celebrities. Demi Lovato was there, Miley Cyrus was there, Common was there. It was a great turnout for celebrities at this March for Your Lives event.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into Khloe's baby shower because that was something that was a positive thing. Obviously, there's a lot of negative that goes on that we'll see next week's episode. But Khloe's baby shower was gorgeous. I was so happy that she was able to have that and at least have that moment because that was a positive thing kind of before the storm happened. But just kind of seeing her the late stages before giving birth was really awesome, and you can just tell she's a great mother and going to be a great mother. Obviously, the baby hadn't been born when this episode aired, but just seeing her keep her light spirits for the most part until we could kind of tell at the end maybe she knew what was going on. What did you think when she peed in her underwear?
I was like, poor thing. She probably can't feel it at this point. I've never been pregnant, but I've had a lot of pregnant friends, and I feel so bad for pregnant women because they could barely walk or fit the clothes. So the fact that this girl is on a photo shoot about to bus and then she's flying back home, I give it to her, and she looks so beautiful. I know a lot of pregnant women are super insecure, but she looked great. But I did feel bad for her. I'm like, she probably can't even feel the pee at this point because the baby's probably on that urethra and probably pushing on it. But I love the baby shower. It was so beautiful and pink, and I don't want kids, but my ovaries started to hurt when I seen that. And I was like, oh, I want a baby now. And because we know about Khloe, and she tried to have a baby before in her past marriage. So I love that she's super happy, and we see on Instagram now with baby True. And I love how they showed the name because I know when she did say True, a lot of people were like, why would you name your baby True? So I like that she shows that grandma's like, no, that was your grandfather's name. And stuff. That's really cool. I loved it.
That's very sweet.
I thought it was such a pretty time. I was just wondering, where do you get all those balloons? Low-key, the middle was...
Party City.
Come on.
I wanted to jump in
Where do you
that.
get all of those? And it just looks so cute. And then I was thinking, were they doing, full-course meal? Did we have a starter and an appetizer, a dinner, and then dessert? Or how was this going? Because I didn't really see, a dessert bar.
No.
What were the party gifts? The little go-home gifts?
Yeah. I wish I knew I would have applied. How do we apply to work at one of these baby showers?
Well, I love how Chris was just like, I'm hungry. My blood sugar's low. I need to go.
She's honest, but we can't forget our very own founder of AfterBuzz TV was on there too. Maria Menounos made a big feature today.
Look beautiful in her ponytail, and I love that. Everyone just looked gorgeous. It was a beautiful pink, sweet, precious moment, and hi, Maria. We love you.
Yeah,
We
it was
love
really
you.
cool seeing
Yes,
her.
absolutely. And not to try to plug something, but if you guys would love to, I am going to drop the link down below in the comments. But I just did Maria's podcast, Conversations with Maria Menounos, and we talked about sobriety, and we interviewed Diana de la Garza, who is Demi Lovato's mother. We talked about Demi in treatment, and we talked about how Demi is 90 days sober.
Yes.
We're so proud of her and happy for her. So make sure to check out that link below. It was a dream come true to be able to work with Maria, and please check it out. It would mean the world to me.
That's so awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Honestly, it was hard to keep my cool, but I went in there and she just makes you feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
And she is just a pro. And I got to tell her some things that I've always wanted to tell her, but never quite had the chance to. And so it was really fun.
We're proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
that's so cool. You guys talked with Demi's mom, and that's cool to see Maria and Demi on this episode.
And you're a huge Demi fan.
Oh my
It couldn't-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so
awesome.
Couldn't work
much.
out better.
Thank you very much. But let's get back into this episode. So before we move on to Scott and Chloe's podcast coming back, can we talk about how Mason calls her fat Amy? That was so
Mason! He's definitely his father's child.
Oh my
But see, the
god.
difference is he's a child.
I wonder if Rebel Wilson will find out about this and like what she'll have to say, because she plays Fat Amy in Pitch
Right.
Perfect.
Right.
I give it to him though because he said Fat Amy's in there, in her belly. So he didn't like really call her Fat Amy.
Okay.
He's like Fat Amy. I think I know what he was trying to say.
Oh, okay, in
I
her
think-
belly?
Yeah, he's like Fat
Okay.
Amy's in your belly.
Got it.
But I think when as an adult woman and you're 10 months pregnant and you hear a child calling you Fat Amy, you're like, I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
Yeah.
Mason.
And then he's telling people she beat on herself. So
I
he's
know,
like, Mason,
it's
no
so
more
funny.
shoots. No more shoots for you, honey.
No more. But yeah, let's talk about this podcast they brought back. It was The Lord and His Lady. They did it in the Hamptons, and they had so much fun. And which we were talking, we don't really think it was actually released anywhere. It was just done for the show's
Right.
sake.
Ever recorded.
But were you guys like surprised to find out that Scott went to Cleveland with Chloe? Because that was something I wasn't aware of.
I didn't realize that either.
I didn't know that either
didn't
because
know
with all
that.
the drama that's about to come up, everyone was like rushing to her side. So I assumed that she was by herself in Cleveland. I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know
was he
there,
the
but-
first one that was there to talk to her and cope with her with the cheating scandal? We'll have to
Maybe.
see next week, but he's the one that's there.
Always Scott.
Yeah,
Right?
he was trying to make her not bored, but in the process, he just was so obnoxious and annoyed the heck out of her.
Yeah.
Did you think that he did more harm than good?
I think he did more harm because it was like poor Chloe. She's like, listen, I'm 9 months pregnant. I need to get my naps in. Like, leave me alone, Scott. And Scott, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah.
Just to find out towards the end, he was like, well, nobody's really gonna hear it. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, he said
Like, he said like they were just doing this for fun. I said, Scott, why are you pushing poor Chloe? If you're not gonna release this, like, who's gonna listen to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's more obnoxious. Like, get it together, Scott. She's tired.
Yeah.
I think he forgot that she's literally about to give birth like any day.
About the
And then like when I'm like, oh, he's trying, and then he gives her the gift.
y'all the gift.
The photo of Gabbana and Chloe, their last
Oh my
photo
gosh.
as Chloe was
He
having to
meant
put
well.
Gabbana down.
He meant
It was the
well.
thought
Okay.
that
It's
counts.
a thought, but it was just like too soon.
You couldn't find
Too
any other
soon.
picture of Scott. She has a bunch on her Instagram. I'm just sure. He couldn't
Exactly.
find- But it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
He
Right.
did try, and I'm happy that he acknowledged, like, you know what, my bad. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Do
Pregnant.
you believe
Yes.
that at that moment, because we really saw Chloe's attitude shift, do you think at that moment Chloe had some inkling but had to kind of film the show and didn't want to release any information yet, but maybe have known what Tristan was doing behind the scenes? Because it seemed like her attitude was just shifted. She was
That's a good
happy
question.
and then boom.
When you brought that up, I was like, you know what? I didn't think about that. And she's in Cleveland. She's bored. She's on her
Yeah.
computer all day. I know she's in those blog sites. She comments on Shade Room and Gossip in the City and Fameless. And I remember, because there's a blog that I follow, Fameless, they dropped that before the whole world found out. So I remember, like, weeks hearing about the whole Tristan thing, and I was like, that's crazy. So she could have found that out and tried, he's on the road playing basketball, maybe
Very true.
she doesn't want to stress out before the baby. So Dakota, that was a good question that you asked. I think she could have found that out.
Which is heartbreaking because she's just trying to keep it together. She had to keep it together for the cameras whenever her and Lamar were having issues.
Yeah.
It's just not fair to her, and I feel like I'm a broken record on this, just like Rob. Shade. But
No, Dakota's throwing it today.
I feel
Shady
like
boots.
I just feel like she deserves someone who. Why does she always have to get cheated on? It's not fair. It's not fair. She
Yeah.
doesn't deserve it. She's so loyal.
They all deserve good guys. I just think if there's a point, like we said about Kanye getting it together, if her and Tristan say they don't work out, she needs to also just focus on her and her baby and pick the right guys. 'Cause
Yeah.
Tristan already wasn't
so
doing the right thing.
And we'll find out more next week about kind of what went down.
Yeah.
I hope they don't skirt around it. I hope they really give
I
us some
know.
details.
I know.
She deserves the best. She's a good girl.
It's going to be interesting to see if Tristan will have anything to say for himself. He'll probably be a coward and not even show up or say anything, I'm sure.
Ugh.
I hope he says something because real talk, he needs to be on the show. Like, we only saw him at the baby shower, but after all that happened, you need to be on the show now,
Sitting
Tristan.
next to me.
Right?
We need to see you, hear your voice, hear your story. Like, you're in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Be on the show because that's the least you can do for her.
Right. Be in the
is help her
confessional with
work.
me.
I messed up. I will do
Exactly.
everything I can to fix this.
Yeah.
Which, do we believe it? I don't know, but it would at least be nice and it would be courageous, even though he's a coward of a man, it would be courageous to step forward in front of the cameras and be like, I screwed up. I'm here to take accountability and I will do everything I can to repair my image and be there for my my maybe future wife.
Do you
and
see him
child.
doing that though?
No.
Like
No.
honestly, like we
No.
don't. There's no way.
That's like she deserves the best.
Whatever.
I give it to her though for trying to work it out. You know, she's a child of divorce, so that could be another thing where
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Chloe's a really sweet girl, but she deserves the best, and I don't really see Tristan doing that. But it's the least he could do.
Right.
You know, he's already been in the blogs with his first girlfriend and baby mama, and Tristan's really young. That's not an excuse, but you know. She's a 30-something-year-old woman, and she's light years ahead, and
Right.
she's a businesswoman, and she's a
Yeah.
great mom, and she just deserves a king.
She
Or
does.
kind of.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And then kind
Amen.
of like switching topics, but with Kylie, she was at this Calvin Klein shoot as well, and she's feeling a little bit weird about her post-baby body, and you know, she's talking about how her curves are different, her hips are wider, she's not able to wear the same clothes that she used to wear, so she's giving away a lot of stuff. It seems like she is kind of struggling with that, but it seems like she's really embraced it for the most part and is just super happy and more interested in being a mother and having those curves than sticking around and moping about it. Like, it was talked
Yeah.
about, but I feel like she is maybe moving on with it better than most women do.
Right. And the thing about social media is that we post all great things about us, and we never see that kind of thought process that Kylie has
Yeah.
through social media. But
Right.
seeing her on camera admitting her insecurities, it's like, wow, okay, I'm not the only one who feels the same way about that at times,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, it's real life situations that I'm happy she said that on camera, because that could have been edited out
Right.
completely, but she was okay with showing that it's okay to feel that way about yourself post baby, or you know, even if you don't have a baby and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's what a lot of women and maybe even men too feel about their insecurities.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that she was so candid and honest and open, because like we said about Kim, so many young people and people in general just look up to Kylie. So I love that she was honest, and you know, she's a new mom, and I think a lot of new moms go through. I think even when you have like your fifth baby, you're just, as a woman, something new is happening to your body and it's changing. So I love that she was open and was like, I'm not too comfortable. But Dakota, I think you're right. Like, she was able to be like, but you know what?
Right.
It is
Yeah.
what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I love that about her. But she was like, well, what can we do?
I feel like some other people in the business maybe would stick on that and freak out,
Yeah.
but with her it was just like, yeah, I mean, I have this, but at the same time, you know, I
She's
like that.
one thing I will say about Kylie. Sorry to cut you off. She's very cautious of her audience, and that's what I like about her. Like even with
Yeah.
her pregnancy, I think she was very aware. Maybe her mom made her a little aware, like the people who's looking at her. And I think even with her words, because it's what you say, I think she was very careful as well to say, "This is what I'm going through, but this is how I'm going to get through it." So I give it to her.
Absolutely.
Smart
Yeah.
businesswoman. Play the game, girl.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it's about ready for tea time. But before we spill that tea, I did want to tell you, AfterBuzzers, that our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there's no network that works harder to serve television fans like you. But we do need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow as well. So it's pretty much a win-win. If you're worried about those pesky notifications, please do not be, because they are optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out some of our other AfterBuzz TV YouTube channels. Let us know you did in the comments below, and we will thank you on air next week. So for that, thank you guys so much for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV Talk.
Yes. We
And
love you guys.
We really do. We love you guys, and we appreciate you watching every week. And we have fun kind of breaking everything down with you. It would be interesting to know if any of the Kardashians or anyone like associated with them has ever clicked on our videos and kind of just sat there and been like, what's going on?
We should just start sending them like Spotify links, because now we're on Spotify.
Yeah.
Just throw them in their DMs. Just throw it to Kim, so she can be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Listen to us.
I'm honestly,
We love you.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, we all love them. We talk harshly because you know it's our job to kind of dissect the show. But
Fan bias.
It's like fans. It's like,
Yeah.
I think as fans who've been fans of them for 15 seasons, you're growing with them. So I think it's kind of like a family where you're looking in and you're like, you can do this better, but we love you. But I
Right.
think it's one of
Right.
those.
and they've kind of put themselves in the position for that, and I think
Yeah.
that they would know that we love them. Otherwise, why would we do this every week?
Okay.
Seriously.
Every week.
I know.
We love them.
For over a year, every week.
Every week.
We love you guys, and that's why we've made the commitment to you.
Yes.
But let's get into some tea time.
I love a tea.
Yes, we
Cheers
do.
to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, cheers.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Clink, clink,
Clink, clink.
Slurp.
So So this first one is hilarious. This photo was posted. Someone said, Kim said she hates when people talk about sex, and Khloe said she's scared of needles, and that's why she has never had anything done to her body. So, it's kind of showing, okay, Kim's doesn't want to talk about sex, but she's over here with her tiki's out. And then, Khloe obviously probably has had some work done. Khloe had some time that day, and she posted this comment.
Got some time.
She says, if you're going to claim that I said something, please fact check it first. I have no fear of needles. I have tattoos and all. I said, I hope when I'm in my 60s and I may want a facelift that there will be a pill for it. That's all I said. That's a big old reach, but hey, this made up trash is always more fun than the truth, I have learned. So basically, she's not denying that she's had any work done.
Exactly. Which I love that she did that.
Yeah.
Because I was a little concerned when I seen the clapback. I was like, I better not read her say, I like that she just was like, I'm not going to even address it, but I'm not going to deny it. But Mama got time.
Mama got time.
She is a working woman, but she is a stay-at-home mom. And Khloe always speaks her mind. So if you're going to come for one Kardashian, it's not to be Khloe.
Yeah.
Seriously, because when North is asleep on her nap, that's when Khloe go to work.
I know.
Khloe said, I got time. My baby is down for sleep. Okay?
Tristan's not here.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it's pretty obvious all the girls have received some type of medical treatment, but hey, if you can afford it, and if that helps out with your insecurities, then...
And give us your doctor.
Yeah, give us that discount.
Drop the doctor name, at least.
In the comments below.
Please.
Can you imagine Kim's like, actually, just go to this really cool guy. His name is,
And that's what I'm waiting for.
That's what I'm waiting
do
for.
what you do if you can afford it. Just give me the doctor's name.
And see if they have a payment plan.
Yeah.
I will not be paying all up front. I need a payment
look
plan.
amazing.
And is it deferred interest or deferred financing, whatever you
That's all
call
we
it?
wanna know.
No interest free for 12 months? We gotta know.
Right. Okay, well, so transitioning over to Kendall. Recently, Kendall was in a photo shoot with Vogue, and Vogue actually apologized after posting this photo of Kendall rocking an afro. And they made the statement, the image was meant to be an update of the romantic Edwardian/Gibson girl hair, which suits the period feel of the Brock collection, and also the big hair of the 60s and the early 70s, that puffed out and teased out look for those eras. So thoughts on this? And I feel like this is a really great transition over to Halloween, and if this is like what is culturally insensitive for Halloween. I want y'all to tell me like were y'all offended by this photo of Kendall?
I'm gonna leave that to you guys.
Yes. Thank you, Dakota. No, and to be honest with you, I don't think anyone was offended. I think this was a case of a publication that made up something for clickbait, because Kendall usually gets in trouble for a lot. And she does usually step in doo-doo sometimes. But I think, honestly, someone made this up. And because when I seen a lot of black people on Twitter, everyone was like, I don't get it. No one cares. That's not even, like, when I seen that, I was like, that's not an afro. It looks like Marie Antoinette woke up and fluffed up her hair. But I will say, in transitioning, there are a lot of insensitive things that's happening, and I do feel like in 2018 I should not have to say this, but no one should be wearing blackface, because it's a whole history. It's a thing that goes with it. If you don't know what minstrel shows are, please Google it. It's been something that happened to us only 50, 40 years ago, where this was exaggerated of our features and who we were, and this was when white people were putting on blackface. And I've seen so many cool costumes done by white people, and you don't have to put on blackface to know who you are. So in 2018, please don't wear blackface for Halloween. Like, I've seen the coolest Coming to America costumes by all white people, and they had no blackface on, and everyone knew who they were. So I think people know better, and I think it's upsetting to see like people in positions like a Megyn Kelly and older people who work in this industry, and they know better, and they still. And if you feel that way, keep your comments at home. But I feel like when you're in this industry, no. Don't wear no damn blackface. I'm just going to say it. Don't wear blackface. But this picture is not offensive. Nobody was offended.
Exactly. I really ditto with that. I don't think anybody was offended. When I saw the picture, I said, her hair's just puffed out. Like, it just looks like they kind of combed it out, brushed it out. And I was like, it's not even a real afro. It was just Kendall trying to do a job. Like, all she's doing is modeling. Why would I take offense to this when she's just doing her job? And it's not an afro. So it was like...
And white people wear afros in the 70s. Like, I think...
That's true.
I think there's a thing where, like, when you kink up your hair, but, like, white people had afros in the 70s, but sorry, this is not an afro.
Yeah, I didn't really find it offensive.
Weren't you saying something like you think that this controversy was made up?
I think it was made up because, one, the Kendall Jenner family, Kendall Jenner, the Jenner Kardashian family it's kind of easy to pick on them. And don't get me wrong, there are things that they have done where I'm like, yo, you guys cut it out. Where I speak up against it. But I think because they are an easy target, especially Kendall, because she's in so many controversies, I think it was easy for a publication, so they can get clickbait, to look at that picture and say, oh, let's get like black people riled up. Let's get people riled up. And no one cared. I've seen so many black people on Twitter that was like, no one's offended. And there was not one article that said we were offended.
Okay.
Right.
So I think someone made this up, honestly.
Definitely.
Right? I mean, because let's be honest, that literally looks like my bed head.
Yeah.
My hair gets like that after waking up in the morning. So
That's what it's not.
And bless Kendall's heart. I mean, I feel like is just now getting over the Pepsi controversy,
Yes.
which was,
Yeah.
that was something to talk about. This picture, I don't see.
They
I didn't even.
tried.
They were reaching.
Yeah.
They were, and I think 'cause she's easy to.
I think so too.
get at 'cause she's
And then
been
remember, they
alive.
just dragged her for saying that she doesn't do 22 shows or 20 million shows like the other models
She-
out there. She can pick and
she
choose.
picks and chooses.
And they took her words out of context on that one. So it's like
Exactly.
she shouldn't be
Yeah.
this easy to just
I know.
drag.
Right?
Like
And
she's just trying to model.
She's
Like,
literally one of the most like down to earth, like nice, normal
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Especially I've met most of them. She is the most just like
She's one of the nicest
Down
ones.
to
genuine,
earth.
sweet. All of them are, but
Yes.
she is
Sweet.
really has like a connection. Like she's so great, and it just breaks my heart to see anyone give her any kind of
Yeah, I think
flack for this.
publications need to chill out and stop making stuff up. But to the younger Jenner sister, Kylie, and her baby daddy, Travis Scott, they just bought a brand new home for $13.45 million. This will make Kylie's 5th property. Pretty cool to be 21 and have your 5th home.
Yeah,
Wow.
only
Crazy.
$13.45 million.
Only.
No big deal.
Hey,
That's
shout out
insane.
to them.
shout out.
I
That's so
mean,
crazy.
wow. Are you guys shocked because like they're not married that they would get this
I'm
home
not
together?
shocked. I'm really
Yeah.
not. I think I'm more about like, I guess I'm a little bit more traditional as far as like, hey, like find someone, get
First
married.
comes love, then comes marriage.
Then
that's
comes
Yeah.
the baby in the baby carriage,
Right?
right? So like I'm like more traditional, but like I get that that's not for everybody, and
Yeah.
the majority of millennials nowadays are not into that. So I'm not surprised that she did that. Now for someone like me, if I did that, that'd be a shock to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But for the majority of people, it's not. So
Yeah.
to each their own.
I
Very
still don't
nice.
understand why she just couldn't use one of the other homes.
Same.
Right.
Like, I know one home is being used for the business, but you still have 3 other homes to choose from.
That is
Yeah.
true. Did
Like, he
Travis not
couldn't-
want to move in?
Exactly. He could just make reservations or renovations, to that home or what? Like, get it together, Travis.
Speaking of getting it together.
Okay, Miss Caitlyn Jenner is back in the press. So she admits that she was wrong on saying Trump would help the LGBT community. As we know, Caitlyn, who is a Republican, was saying like, oh, he's got to help us out, help the trans community, just help the whole community in general. And now she sees he's not really doing anything for the community. He's just kind of just being Trump, and she's wrong to say like, oh, I'm sorry, I was promoting him.
Yawn,
What are our thoughts on that?
Caitlyn.
Next.
Yawn.
No,
This is just a case where what Caitlyn did was she put her race before her gender, which a lot of people do. And this was a situation where she knew the messages that Donald Trump was spewing, and she knew he was not here for and he being Donald Trump, the trans community. There was a reality show that she was on with Amanda Seales, and Amanda Seales broke it down to her and let her know, being part of the trans community, you have different advantages than we do. And I think kudos to Caitlyn, but it just sucks to come out later and be like, oh, I guess.
I mean, at least she came back and how we're
Right.
not
Yeah, and
we
came
don't
back
think that
around.
Tristan's gonna come back and say he was wrong.
Right.
At least Caitlyn realizes.
Kudos.
Right.
That's why I was like, you know what? Because sometimes it is a learning experience, and maybe being older, maybe Caitlyn genuinely really thought. Because a lot of people who were friends with Donald Trump when Donald Trump was the rich guy on TV really thought, like, you know what? Maybe Donald will do the right thing. And maybe I think Caitlyn just assumed and was like, even though he's saying one thing about these trans people, maybe if me and other people get involved, he'll change. But so I'm happy that she was able to say, you know what? I guess I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Moving on from that heavy topic, let's get into something that is very cute.
Yes.
Stormy gets to visit her very first pumpkin patch, and
Oh.
so adorable. I'm loving the camo pants and like the Supreme shirt. I think it's so cute, and I love that. I mean, in this photo, it really does look like there's no one in the background, so they really just rented out the whole pumpkin patch.
The pumpkin patch, and I love how Kylie posted these pictures to her Instagram because we don't always see like traditions like this. It's usually just like some glamour shots, but it's like she's human too. She has a family too, and does just like what every other family does during the fall holidays and go to the pumpkin patch. Let's do it. I'm so glad she shared these pictures.
A little pumpkin.
No, she's so cute. Such a cute baby.
My ovaries, y'all. All these cute babies.
They're aching.
I can't
Your ovaries are gagging.
They're gagging. I want a Stormy now. It's like...
I was going to transition, speaking of gagging, but that's like a horrible transition, so I'm not going to say that.
No.
But Courtney's fling... Luca Sabat was pictured holding hands with another woman, which would be like gag. But like, but like, I mean, are they actually together? Like, I know they're having this like fling that they hold hands out of restaurants and they're together, and so now he's with someone else, and it's like
Courtney was just having a hookup. That's all.
You think? I mean, like, celebrities do one-night stands too. Like, let's be honest.
It was a multiple night stand, but yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think she's human. We're all human. Unfortunately, the cameras follow them. So like when we're doing our 1 or 2, 3 night stand, we call it a day and we keep it moving. Unfortunately, because they're so famous, when you see her with Luke, everyone's like, "Are they dating?" And I think she was just like, "No, I'm just hooking up with this kid, and I'm about to be 40, and I'm gonna get my groove back."
She is getting a lot more than a groove.
Yeah, he's too young, honey.
Yeah,
so let him.
Yeah, girl.
Move on. Move on.
Stella got her groove back. Looks like our girl Kim K, Meek Mill, and Van Jones will be hosting a criminal justice reform summit coming up. And that's pretty cool because Van Jones, for those who don't know, like, you know, our Kim's getting into the prison reform. Van's been doing this for over 20 years. And I think I said that on a past show, like, I would love for someone like Van Jones to be involved. So it's like, I feel like Kim's low-key listening. So I love that her and Van and Meek Mill, who was just released from prison, like, they're getting together. It's like 3 different people from 3 different areas. You have Kim K, Meek Mill, Van Jones coming together and talking about really cool things about criminal justice reform.
Absolutely. I'm interested to see how that will play out and, like, when it will be and, like, what we can watch.
Yeah. I'm excited for that, but when she was talking how she doesn't really know besides the presidential election, I'm like, yes, Howard, I agree. I'm glad she was honest, but that also makes me question her credibility with all of the White House things she's been attending and all of this reform, but she doesn't know much about voting come November 6th, just saying.
Okay, you're right, though, because the Alice thing was before this.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where, like, I think a few of us brought up and said, like, in the world, like, is it genuine or is this, like, a thing where she wanted to do something good, but because of what it is and just because I wanted to do something good, but not truly understanding. So I'm hoping this is a moment where she's like, you know what, Alice is out. Let me at least try to I pray that that's what she's going to do and not take this to be like a moment and be like, I'm here, and then leave.
Right, yeah. You know? This isn't a club appearance. Like, this is a little more than that.
Which I think she understands, and she is learning, and some people sit there and they learn before they speak out, and I think with her, she's like, this is timely, this needs to be spoken about, and I will talk to you as I'm learning, which I don't think is a bad thing. I feel like a lot of people try to shame people for, like, oh, well, you don't know exactly what you're talking about. And it's like, sure, you want to have credibility. Absolutely. And I think she needs more of that. But I think that it's admirable that she is trying to take a stand. And as she's learning, she's speaking out and using her platform, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
I can see it. So let's move on to Mama Chris. So Mama Chris was in the spotlight recently, and she was saying that in light of Kanye's controversies, she says he knows that we're there if he needs us. We're not going to leave him. So I guess the Kardashian is still, Kardashian family is still behind Kanye and all his random rants he does. I mean,
I feel bad for Kim.
Kudos for Kim.
Yeah.
Damage control.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I think, honestly, being a wife of someone, and I was having this debate with someone, and someone was like, oh, she has his wife should be doing more. And I'm like, I used to say that. But now as an older woman, it's like, no. Here's a woman with 3 kids. She's a businesswoman. She's a mom. She has a family. She's helping out over here. She's doing prison reform. At least we hope so. And she's doing this. And to have to kind of clean up after your husband and clean up the things that he's saying, it's one of those things where it's like, it starts to mess up your brand. Yeah. And I honestly think that if Kanye wasn't in the position where he wasn't mentally ill or his mother didn't die, I truly think that they would have parted a long time ago.
I think so. And I keep hearing these, I don't know, they could just be rumors, but that she's still thinking about divorce. Like they're
Yeah.
still kind of having a little hiccup here and there. But they are going on all these trips, so maybe they're trying to work something out. They were just in South Africa, they were just in Bali. So hopefully they're working something out. But I agree. It's just hard because Kim is her own woman.
Yeah.
And she's even said Kanye has his own opinions, but I'm doing my own thing. I got my business, I got my babies. Like, I can't follow no grown man. Like, if he wants to say what he wants to say, he's got to say what he's got to say.
Yeah.
I got to, okay, I love you, boo. I don't agree. See you at dinner. That's it.
See you at dinner. Yeah.
And Mama Chris will make sure that he will not ruin that brand that they've
Oh,
worked
she'll definitely
so
make sure.
hard
She's
for.
probably
Very
freaking
hard.
out.
Oh my
Yeah.
I know she's probably like, ah!
What's happening? Before we move on to Graham Glam, I did want to give a shout out to Colleen McDonald in the chat. Thank you so much for joining
Colleen.
and watching. We love you, and we are hoping that you're enjoying the recap. But yeah, let's get into some Graham Glam, shall we?
Do it.
So the first photo that we have is of Kim.
Oh.
She shared this photo of her and Chicago, and apparently she was kind of advertising her pink new eyeshadow in this one, which I feel like there's a lot more being advertised than the eyeshadow. But
Yeah, what a genuine photo. Both of their eyes shut. Just so much love
That's
and
a
tenderness
beautiful photo.
Yep.
Yes.
in this photo. And it gives me the vibe of Kylie. Kylie was recently in Travis Scott's music video. Did y'all see with her
no.
holding the goat? Like it was a Virgin
Yeah.
Mary reference. And I get those vibes through this picture.
interesting.
Very
It's
beautiful.
very tender, very gentle.
It's sweet.
Chicago's like, I'm tired.
I know.
Yeah.
She's
Just
like,
take
I've
a
been on
little
this
nap."
photo shoot. I'm tired.
Take a little nappy.
She's been working all
That's
day.
very
I heard Crafty would have my favorite milk.
Okay.
Like she's just trying to get out of there.
Where's
So
my
she's
bottle?
like, oh my gosh. The next photo we have is of Courtney, and she's in this yellow number. And it was, what the interesting part of this photo is that it was actually shot by Mason.
I love those pants.
Oh, wow.
Mason took this
Mason
photo.
was- Photography.
Me as a mom, listen, I feel like if you have kids, let them take your photos.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that a lot now though. I do see moms letting their kids take photos of them. I'm like, why not?
And the fact that it's like this sexy
Yeah.
shot, you know?
Yeah.
And she's probably like, Mason, like go down more, like
Right?
shoot from
angles,
under, like
honey, angles. You know, it's so funny because we have like Instagram dads, Instagram
Yeah.
boyfriends, significant others. Now it's like, hey,
Instagram.
Instagram
Instagram
kids.
kids.
Hey.
They're in the background now.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Courtney
the-
is killing it.
She
Love
is.
those pants.
Yeah.
Now I know Howard's gonna love this next photo.
Ooh.
We have Chloe. She is in an ad for Pretty Little Thing, which Courtney's worked with before.
Oh.
And yeah, this is a really pretty photo.
This
Hot
is
mama.
pretty. This is cute. You know I love my girl Chloe, so
I
this
love
is
that
very
pink's
cute.
her thing now. Like if you go to their pages, they all have themes, and
Yes,
Yes.
pink is her
pink.
theme. So I love her. She looks cute.
I just want to know where I can get a chair like this
I
in black or like
Exactly.
dark red.
Am I just sleeping in that chair all night? You just wake up, you're like, wow.
It looks
in
like
the
a
backyard.
one of those love sack chairs. You know what I'm talking about? I
Oh,
love that.
Mm-hmm,
So pretty.
And then of course we have Kindle. She's always bringing us those vintage like abstract vibes. This is a little bit, I guess, my Anaconda Don't vibes. She's given a very Nicki Minaj-esque look, and this is a little bit more provocative than what I've seen of Kindle. I mean, I know she has a nip slip here and there, but like this
Yeah.
is very much like this
It's
is
like a
my
Kylie
booty.
picture, I feel. Like,
And
it's like
it's
a scandalous.
Yeah, her booty looks a little plumper than usual, but okay.
And is that
be
Louis
the outfit.
Vuitton? That's, on her,
Yeah.
like,
That's what I thought.
pantyhose.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Kendall was a girl bot. Austin Powers, girl bot,
she
femme
looks so
bot. She was a
cute.
femme bot for Halloween this
She looks
weekend.
so
She was
cute.
so
Oh,
adorable.
yeah.
That was a really cute costume.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then the last photo we have is of Kylie, and this is like really beautiful. Like this is
Yes,
this is
the
like a
pumpkin
normal
patch.
like you're scrolling on Facebook
I
and you
love
see
this.
like
Every day, like an everyday photo from anyone could have posted that.
Yeah.
I love that.
at the pumpkin patch, Travis Scott, Stormy, and Kylie, and I thought that was just adorable. So you guys know, please let us know in the comments below who your pick of the week is, and we would love to know. But for us,
Drum roll.
drum roll
I always
please.
get stuck between two people.
Me too.
We can only do one this week.
Okay,
Okay.
one.
Only do one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
3,
2.
2, 1.
Oh, what?
I was going Kylie too, but I picked Courtney.
Oh!
The panel is divided.
Kylie versus Courtney.
I was
my
going with Kylie
gosh.
because I love that photo, but I do love Courtney's because they're really sparkly if you look closely, and I love that material.
Exactly.
funny.
Those pants, she's killing it. I love how she's elongating her body so she looks like she's 6 foot, or it could just be Mason, tiny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she still looked taller and just
Yeah.
it was very simple. No, like the makeup was simple. No, like jewelry. I loved it with Courtney.
Yeah, sexy.
Interesting.
She was my second pick.
I love following the girls on Instagram, and I think they do such a great job from their filters to what they post, all the glamour shots. But this picture that Kylie posted was the most genuine thing
That's
she's
true.
posted. Her,
Yep.
Travis, Stormy at the pumpkin patch, I think that's what everyone does, and
Yeah.
that
beautiful.
she's just like everyone else. And I feel like some people forget that she is a normal person.
Yeah.
I know this sounds crazy because everyone's like, oh, Kylie's like the most made up one. I really do think she's the most like, I mean, besides Kendall, because Kendall's very like just chill and normal. I feel like Kylie is just kind of bounced back from that like Kylie Jenner to just more like, I'm Kylie Jenner. Sure, yeah, I run an empire,
Cool
no
mom.
biggie, but I'm a cool mom and I just want to like live and I want to spend time with my family and do traditional things. And
I think
I like
that
that.
goes to test to Caitlyn Jenner because the Jenner girls, and I think Caitlyn always wanted to make that a point. Because if you look at Kylie and Kendall, they're kind of more of like the chill ones. So they have a job, but like Kendall would rather like ride a dirt bike, and Kylie's a little bit more shy. And I think Caitlyn Jenner and Chris did a really good job with them. And because they got to see their sisters be glam, and I think growing up in the camera, they're a little bit more shyer. So I love seeing the realness, and I love her with the baby and Travis.
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Well, you guys, we are so excited for next week to kind of get some more info on the whole Tristan, Chloe extravaganza.
And they're going skydiving.
Hey!
That's going to be like, I guess, like the little bit of like comic relief from the serious
From
topic.
all the craziness.
From the
Yeah.
drama. Are you
From
guys
the
ready
drama.
for next week?
I'm ready.
But in the meantime, I'm going to be keeping up with you guys on social media. Where can everyone find you?
Oh, well,
Howard,
I am
start
Howard
us
the
off.
Third. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Howard the Third. Of course, my website, howardthethird.com. And I do Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta after show on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And a new show with my boo over here, Nakia,
Hey.
on Sundays, like 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you guys tune into that.
Yes, guys, I'm Nakia Monet. You can follow me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom. Like Howard said, we're doing a brand new show called Reality Check, and we'll be talking more reality shows, more Kardashians, and all that good, crazy reality stuff that you guys like.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and my name is Rachel Robillard. Y'all can find me on all social media platforms at Rach_Robillard. Similar to everyone here, I'm, love reality. We talk reality. I do Real Housewives of Dallas on Wednesday nights. So if you want to come follow me there, that's where I'll be on Wednesdays.
All right. You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. Again, I'm going to be commenting down below the podcast link for Conversations with Maria Menounos. Check that out. And in the meantime, we will keep up with you next time.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principal.